All right, well, here we go. We are live with game number 2. Can you guys turn that game sounds down just a little?
You guys want a game sound?
Yeah, yeah.
Boom! Kingston does nothing half-ass here.
All right. Let's introduce our players here in the northeast position as now the blue Zerg. It's MC Jaedong RC. And in the southwest position as the red Protoss.
The
We've
Kratos.
got, yes, SK MC.
Warrior Man himself. Super excited about this match. MC does jump out to a commanding 1-0 in this best of 3. This group plays, so even if Jaedong should fall, we will see more of him, which of course is exciting for everybody here. But I gotta tell you, I'm really excited for 2013 for a lot of reasons. One of them, though, is what do these guys do? MC, it wouldn't be fair. I mean, okay, a lot of times I complain when people are like, someone hasn't won, they haven't won a tournament like the last 4 tournaments. They must be in a slump or something like that. So MC's not in a slump. I'm not saying that by any means, but I am interested to see as these Kespa guys become more established, they become more comfortable. We see more of them, not just in Pro League, but perhaps traveling. We already see some of these guys kind of making their way to other teams as well. Very few of that, but I do want to see more exposure from the Pro League guys. How do they mingle? How do the GSL guys stack up to them when they get more warmed up to StarCraft 2?
And you cannot deny that the the impending release of Heart of the Swarm is going to change a lot too. You know, we've already seen some players pretty much drop Wings of Liberty and focus exclusively on Heart of the Swarm. Now, we're going to have that weird 1 or 2 month transition period where there are going to be some really powerful individuals just because they've spent so much time to have a pylon block over here, but that is going to be one of the more interesting aspects of it. We might have a double hatch block coming out here, but we've got another drone coming up. He'll just pull that away, and will MC react nice? Almost loses that probe, but it doesn't matter. He gets the hatchery down, which is kind of the more important thing, or not.
He will get it down. Okay, that what? All right, there we go. Get to work, drone. My God. Anyways, good opening, and you can see here again. MC's like, well, look. The pylon's finished your natural, your third didn't go down forever. There's probably 6 lings making their way over here. Of course, unfortunately for him, we do see that the queen has started. The hatchery is down. So all things are pointing towards the lings not having any effect at all with the cannon or without. But MC's playing it safe again, and why not? Played safe last game. Beautiful defense into win. And that's if a Protoss could do that every game, they would. They absolutely would.
Yeah. MC still being ruthless with this probe. He actually tried to go in there to get that one or two hits on the drone, but wasn't going to really risk it. Meanwhile, sees the Nexus, gateway going down, and again, we're going to have a pretty standard opening, but these lings making their way over, not going to matter because we've got the cannon at the front already. And Jaedong does have both of his hatcheries down. So, although delayed, I think a little bit longer than he would have liked to. Typically, okay, pylon block at the natural, no problem, hatchery at the third. But even then, MC was kind of posing a threat there at the front and just delayed that by a little bit. But
now, I'll tell you what, this map is not Ohana. Okay, on Ohana, it's an easy prediction that the Protoss is going to go for that Immortal Sentry all-in. The map is basically built for it. But at the end of 2012, we saw Zerg players dominating tournaments, which brought, of course, a lot of Protoss and Terran tiers collectively.
Right.
One of the only kind of chinks in their armor, one of the only ways we saw Zerg players fall was that feared and dreaded Immortal Sentry all-in. Now, the reason I bring this up, he's up 1-0. He can risk an all-in, and this map is like the second best map for that all-in.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Jeff. And I mean, honestly, when you're MC and when you're fully capable of doing a strategy like that, and you're 1 game up, you really don't have a whole lot to lose as far as that's concerned. So we'll be keeping a close eye as MC gets his Psy-Core down right now. We're going to start to see the direction that he's going to take. Meanwhile, both the hatcheries are finished over here for Jaedong. He's just going to continue to drone at this point.
+1 attack started. So that is not typical for it. It usually would go robo right away and then start the +1 shortly thereafter. And the +1 even unchrono boosted will finish just prior to the attack itself. So I don't know that we'll see that. Again, the thing about that is, though, that MC could be doing it, but he's doing it his own MC kind of way. He's one of those guys that does that. He's not one of the robots that you find that does builds perfectly, and that's how they play StarCraft 2. So Jaedong is getting the gas here. You can see, again, his supply is at 47. So he's at the top end of the 40 to 50 supply spectrum for when gases get taken by Zergs, which suggests more... I mean, it's like really silly to read into this too much, but it would seem that he's going to be droning a lot harder as opposed to getting out earlier lanes for map control.
Yeah, well, and we do have 8 lings coming out right now. He already has 4 out on the field, but a lot of drones coming out behind it as well. And he is going to actually pick it up, and maybe he's just going to try to create a nice presence to try to delay any sort of third. There, the Robo is going down. We've got 2 more gases completing for MC at the natural. And here come 2 stalkers over from the side, so those lings that were made are going to be fairly beneficial here, as long as they, of course, stay on the creep. We got speed just now started. But yeah, these stalkers actually could be at risk. You can see Jaedong kind of baiting it out a little bit. He's got these 5 lings, and he had more coming from the back. If he would have maybe drew them in a little bit further, that might have been a bit more effective, but he does have to retreat those back, and that is going to be it. Here we also see the Overlord coming in. What do I see? The 3 gateways. I do believe he should catch vision. There it is, of the Robo as well.
And there's the Twilight Council. So it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix the situation, because I do believe this will be exactly the same thing from MC, which is just strong defensive third base play. A lot of Protoss will throw down like a 9-minute third Nexus. I know Hero from Team Liquid is very fond of that kind of style. MC is going to delay that a little bit in the name of having Blink, more juice on the sentries, and probably a couple of Immortals to anchor his defense against any kind of Roach aggression. But he will be going for that third base.
Overlord that was spotted above the natural, taken out with the help of that Observer. We have 2 more gases, and we do have the Spire. So Jaedong's been playing this pretty awesome level of play versus Terran that's like this 3-base Muta style, but you know, it's still unclear because we've got the Roach speed. We do have an attack coming up here as we see this sea of red starting to march up.
The weirdest attack ever. There's no pylon over here. There's no Warp Prism. He's making an Immortal, a second Immortal if I'm not mistaken, so he's going to be annoying by virtue of this attack's not supposed to happen.
Right.
But there's a really good chance he just gets ran down and murdered here for the cost of, like, drone time, you know, like missed mining from the drones. I don't understand this at all.
Well, he's going to eliminate one of the Stalkers, took out 2 of the Zealots that were making their way in, and you know, I think it was just
what is this?
I don't know. I guess it's just I've got an opportunity here. I know you've got no units, a few out, and I don't know, but it's not done yet, actually. No. You said MC is going to be annoying, and that is exactly what is happening right now. Now we've got this main army moving down here, stops it, but he knows that the third is going to happen as well. So, you know, MC, you mentioned he's 1 game up. He can do some unorthodox play if he wanted to, and there you have it. But we have Flyer Attacks level 1 on the way, but no, do we have any out yet? No, we don't have any.
Yeah, he's not making any, so it's fine. He's got 900 gas, so we're about to see an explosion of Mutalisk. But for right now, he says, you know what, you just kind of lost a chunk of your army. I'm going to make more lings and maybe do something with them. Or maybe he's still worried about a random attack, to be quite honest. That could be the after effects of a random attack. MC's just like, I've got 6 Zealots and 2 Stalkers. You're Zerg, let's go kill you at 9 minutes. And it's like,
try to do it.
It kind of worked. I mean, it definitely was a wash, but it's like, not a strategy. You can't go. Yeah, I do the. I like to open up with a 6 Zealot, 2 Stalker, 9-minute push, and then I followed up with third base natural gameplay. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
And there are the 12 mutas coming out. Now, one thing we have to consider, Blink already finished. There's not a whole lot of Stalkers here in the army of MC, but of course, being reactionary is the Protoss, warping in a few. You know, you can't deal with those early numbers. Where it gets really scary is if those numbers, of course, start to exponentially increase. Now, here we've got them coming in from the back. There is definitely going to be a great opportunity to kill some probes here, but still, it's one of those weird things because you're going to do some damage, and we'll keep an eye on like exactly how many units are killed. Keep in mind, Blink is active. MC hasn't shown it quite yet. Jaedong is going to lose his first muta, second muta, and there we see the Blink come out as a couple mutas go down. Now, how does MC sort of react to this? As how many did he lose here? What? Oh,
a little bit of a battle over there. The force fields are going to trap that small army of lings and a few roaches. Not the biggest of deal on either side. But I do want to make note here, there's been a double expand behind us, and we have that production tab open. We can see the upgrades are resuming here for melee and spine crawlers and fester. Like, it's not going to be committed 45,000 Mutalisks running through your bases causing havoc, but what this is going to be is a bunch of Mutalisks, it looks like 10 here, and they're going to keep the Protoss occupied. He was transitioning to Colossus. He was just establishing his third. This is uniquely the worst time to get attacked by Mutalisks because now he's like, well, how committed to this are you?
Right,
He's in a transitory period.
Right, and I do not believe that Jaedong has made another Muta outside of those initial. And then here's those Stalkers. MC continues to just warp in right over here because this is probably the most vulnerable spot for Jaedong to hit right now. It's just covered so nicely.
Yeah.
Like, to come in here through the third would, you know, if you get in, hey, there's not much defense there. That's great, but it can be a little nasty. Here we have a huge swell of Zerglings coming down. Mutalisk out on the side.
Yeah.
I don't think Jaedong's ready to commit to an attack here, but again, keeping that pressure on and really spreading on MC as much as he possibly can.
Oh, a little bit of a dangerous situation. I mean, it's not enough Mutas where like almost any number of Stalkers can feel scared of. But I will say this: we're in a scary period of time for Jaedong. I think MC is in a beautiful position in the sense that yes, he lost some initial probes.
Right.
Yes, he was caught in an awkward position where he was kind of transitioning, so there was some wasted resources, quote-unquote wasted. It's of course going to be used later. But I want to say this: when you don't go for a lot of Mutalisks and you lose them like this every once in a while, now it's like 7 Mutalisks, who cares?
Yeah.
It means that MC's sitting on 3 bases. You'll notice no Templar Archives. He's not wasting time trying to play defensive. He's going to make a bunch of Stalkers, and he's going to go. And we're going to have low energy infestors, not a lot of spine crawlers. Well, shit me sideways. That is a lot of spine. Never mind. Just wrong on that one. I apologize, but it's a scary position. Now, if Jaedong holds the 3-base attack, it's over. It's a win. But MC is shown to be pretty good at that kind of attack.
Yeah, I mean, already going to the Greater Spire, having that hive completed. There's those 5 additional infestors coming out. That is, wow, there's
drones.
14 infestors on the field, the 100 drones, as you mentioned. And you know what? 100 drones, they turn into these wonderful, wonderful spine crawlers oh so quickly. So he's just going to continue to reinforce here. Now, look at this. We do see the Observer catching that 5th base, which, you know, honestly, for the minerals, I think it's more pertinent for the gas that's coming out. So will we see an attack over there? So far, no attempt by MC to make it over, but you know, the creep spread could be a little bit better, but this is not a position you want to necessarily attack into. So
there's a fire swamp right there. You actually cannot go in there, and it's not just because of the giant rats, but we're gonna, I mean, okay, boom! If my pants ever stood a chance of not having a hole in the crotch, it just went away. I love this stuff. I mean, we're gonna give credit to Effort. One of the first things he did when he came over to Pro League is just like, well, I'll open up light Mutalisks, specifically on this map too is where we saw it, and then I'm going to go around the map and pick off observers. If the Protoss can't see what's going on out there, they're afraid of counterattacks, so they leave cannons behind. They SimCity their bases more so. MC, of course, has like brass balls, so he's not doing any of that because he just knows things that the rest of us don't. But it's all down to this.
And there's the counterattack from the bottom right before Adrenal Gland finishes and a few of the upgrades. The cannon's going to be doing their work over here. Meanwhile, are the Mutas going to try to poke in? It looks like they are just trying to make their way around the back of the army, and I think he's going to have to...
he wants to get rid of the Mutas. He's going to go attack them.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, get rid of it. It's a waste of supply at this point.
Yep.
But it's enough to kill the cannons, and with the cannons down, like, okay, yeah, top left's dead, fine. Oh, here's a big attack! The Broodlords are hitting the ramp, and he's getting fungled on the ramp. Everything about MC's positioning that was correct in Game 1 is wrong in Game number 2. That was, of course, not the way he wanted that to go. He did lose mostly Immortals and Sentries, which at this point is not the biggest of deals. He still has that Stalker count, but his third has been disrupted. You'll notice the probe line there has been minimalized. Top left, it should be dead.
Yeah, it is. It is. It just set those 6 Zealots off while that attack was taking place. And, you know, I'm not sure if MC knew what he was attacking into, but he almost lost everything on that ramp there, which could have been really devastating. That included most of the sentries that he had. You can see he's got a couple still left in there. Immortals went down. One Immortal also really, really low. But the big part of this is that we still don't see a 4th base coming out of MC.
No, he'll do it. He can't attack at this point. There's no way he thinks he can. That would be ridiculous. But there's actually double Spire out there. I want to note that. That's something that we haven't seen in a while. I know it used to be the absolute common practice, but these days we normally see Zerg stick to the 1. Now, there is a Warp Prism making its way.
And it did make its way, and there's the natural interruption here. What's that?
No spine crawlers. That's something that Jaedong will learn to do, but right now he's not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, especially at this point in the game. Because as you mentioned, if MC has to put a 4th up, then, you know, the one way to get in would be to get that Warp Prism in there, try to do some damage economically, maybe take out a key building. That Warp Prism did manage to get away, too. But let's look at what Jaedong has behind this. You know, as he's sitting on 5 bases going up again, he's on the 4th. He's got great defense. He's now got how many Broodlords out? 10 and 5 Corruptors, 14 supporting Infestors as well. So, you know, I mean,
still
MC.
no 4th.
Yeah, still.
I mean, he's making the safest 4th ever. So, I mean, the Ling that is for will die, and the 4th will go down. So that explains why there is no 4th.
Yes.
Ling's going to come over here and disrupt that. Beautiful counterattack play from Jaedong. He's going to sweep in. Looks like he's going to circumvent the 4th and go for this one. The positioning of the cannons are making it very annoying, but there's just no warping ability. The Protoss is mostly maxed out. He's now having to come back. Nexus being targeted. Jaedong is looking to do maximum damage here. He's not settling for probe count. He wants to go for the Nexus. It's going to be close.
He's going to get it. I think Adrenal Glands makes all the difference. Oh my god, no, he's
No,
not!
Oh, get it!
Nice.
Let's go down now.
Literally, like 1 or 2 Lings left over. They got dinner. It's done. But MC does take out this base. However, he's still down 1. You know, he lost a few probes right there, but more importantly, losing that Nexus. Like, my God, now he's got 2 building.
Yeah.
This one's still halfway done, and that's going to delay him even more. That means, you know, it means, I guess, for Jaedong, an opening for attack. But for MC, is he going to get this mothership out on time? And even if it does get out on time, he's not going to have enough for a Vortex right off the bat.
Well, Bank is so key for Protoss. It's never about the actual, I mean, well, it's a big deal about the actual armor you have, but your resupply ability is the advantage that Protoss has. We don't have to worry about injects or building from barracks. That's silly stuff that lesser beings have to work with. We actually warp in immediately, but if you don't have a bank, there goes that advantage. We're going to have this 4th base stacked, and MC is caught in an awkward place. He's seconds away from a mothership, so he says, you know what? Bravo to you. It's the wrong time. I'm going to back away. Jaedong sees something he doesn't like because he just went with the free units. He's not actually, yeah, all right, here he comes.
And is he going to finish it off? I really like the concept of, hey, I took out your 3rd, you just built this one, I'm going to take it down now, and he is going to get it. Initially, it didn't look like he was going to be able to grab it, but there it is, a few additional Infested Terrans go out, boom, that Nexus is down. You can see the probe saturation there is just ridiculous. We've got more Warpins over here, and now finally Jaedong moving a lot of those Spine Crawlers into a more defensive position. There's a great bungle. And look at this, the army is spread out, so Infestors are going to get caught from the back. Is he in a bad position?
He can't blink down, there's not enough space. If those Stalkers didn't have their fat butts covering that ramp, or if those rocks were gone, he might have blinked under those Broodlords. But as it is, I mean, I think he still would have lost the fight, but it was tantalizing, if you will, Wheat. And with the micro of MC, by the way, it's kind of foolish of me to question that. I should have been like, well, of course he'll blink under, and somehow he'll ninja those Broodlords and get out of there. But he wasn't able to.
There is a Vortex available on the mothership, but a lot of those units have gone down. Some of the supply is also up here in Zealots, and I'm not even sure. Well, actually, he could go ahead and attack this one quite nicely.
Jaedong is building 11 more Infestors. How many is that in total, please?
The total would be 26.
Get out of here!
Infestors.
He's within earshot. I feel like you should be ashamed of yourself. 26 Infestors. My God. Give the man a chance.
Yeah, there those Zealots are going in. He waits for the hatchery to finish up. Good. He's not going to get this, but
finish over here,
yeah, Jaedong has that up and going, and I feel like having this base up and with the army that Jaedong has, he's actually in a better position.
Too. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh God.
Now it is going to come down to a Vortex. If you did everything in a Vortex, all right, that's the Protoss trump card. It's like, hey, dude, with all these Archons, if I can get you to hop into the swimming pool, I'm going to go ahead and throw a gigantic toaster in there. He's going to go for it. Oh, he's looking for it, but he's out of position. I don't know why he's doing that. He could, if he vortexed, he can't get anything in it. He needs to back away.
And he wants to be very careful about those Corruptors. At least that might be the reason why he didn't really move forward. And you're right. Even if he would have got it in here, we've got more Zealots just walking into their death. Like, men, go. It'll be okay. I promise.
I know it looks scary, but run towards the gigantic forest of Spine Crawlers.
And the Protoss.
That's too many Archons. Okay?
Yeah?
I'm gonna be pretty honest with you.
I feel like he just, like, that's his way he thinks he's going to get out of this, is, like, to land that Vortex. He's almost at 2 right now.
It's just a bit redundant. I mean, the only thing that could possibly happen is he vortexes and then doesn't get the Archons in because they fungal, but wait, he actually has 10 more Archons that are countering into the Vortex that surprise Jaedong. Like, it's a ridiculous situation. It's just not going to happen that way. It's okay, though. I mean, I feel like MC is so far behind that this would be the Hail Mary that, like, maybe the Mega Vortex will work. he's thinking, you know, if I double Vortex and I don't have 28 Archons, then I won't be able to utilize both.
It's like they can't fungal all of them. And here we go, MC, he knows, like, he's not getting this course base up. He's letting his opponent get further ahead. And more importantly, he is going to go for it. A lot of spines there. Here we're going to have the Infested Terrans thrown out. A couple of feedbacks do go down from the back. The Corruptors. But the Mothership goes down. He can't
get into it.
He's got a wall of Infested Terrans. He's able to fungal as well. It works out quite nicely. This one is trying to get in there under here. Nope, not going to happen. These Brood Lords are going to pop out. They're going to be perfectly fine. Actually, that one,
he touched him.
He did. And there it is.